GenSpark News on the other side, so hopefully he's going to be running in just a moment. And he will give us the daily news of like what's going on in the world and the chaos. So that is going to come up. We'll check him out in a moment so that we can see. Okay, he's running, which is nice. Perfect. Talk about subscription bills. One of the biggest things, like just AI in general, having a subscription tracker, highly recommend it. TickTick is like just one list in there. TickTick for subscriptions. You would be surprised as far as how I spent 2 hours yesterday just going through all of my subscription, making sure every price was right, every due date was right, every cancellation link was also right, and it was separated by personal and by business. It took 2 hours to just get everything properly logged, and I had it in two different systems. I had to migrate from. I was originally using ClickUp for subscription tracking, which I just don't have a use for ClickUp. It's not part of my sales funnel. I just have a different business model. Like my business model is just subscriptions. Like it's just memberships. So I'm not doing high ticket sales. I'm not doing sales calls. I'm not managing a CRM, even though most of my life has been managing. My specialty is managing CRMs. I actually don't want it in my business as a business model. Like I'm trying to make everything systematized and automated. So the system runs on clockwork, even if I have a bad day, which is what we all want. We all want a business that brings in income, even on a bad day. So, and then what Jonas is also talking about, GenSpark. If you're not on the GenSpark train, oh my gosh. Like one, get a new community because we've been rocking, and all thanks to Sarah. Like I see Sarah going out and being like the evangelist for GenSpark. Like she is going out and spreading the good gospel of GenSpark, the good word, what's possible with it and all. Oh, so she indoctrinated, I think, Firestarter on TikTok. If you highly recommend Firestarter on TikTok. The dude is so great. He teaches it every day. I don't know the exact time. He's usually in the mid afternoons. Sorry, it's gonna bug me. Okay, cool. But welcome to Jonathan Acuni Podcast. I missed you. Hope you're having a good day. Hope you're having a blessed day. We're going to talk about some AI news. I have some cool updates. I'm going to go over my tech stack so that you can find out something new. I'm going to share projects of what I'm working on. Oh my God. Claude Code. Vibe coding apps on Claude Code. We're going to talk about it. I'm so excited because I've always wanted to. I love software programming. Like I love it. It's so much fun to take a problem and work it down to write a program and some text on it's just text, and all of a sudden you run this text and it does your task or job faster than you could do it on your own. Game changing, and all you need is a basic level of Python to be dangerous kind of thing. Now, and so, because you will have to make changes anyway, so might as well master one language. Oh my gosh. I got some dope projects coming up. I went on a tear even last night. I went a tear. Like, what were the projects I was working on? One hooked up Notion to Alfred. I know we talked about that in last episode. Where like one, you should be on a Mac computer, just any refurbished Mac, 16 gigs. If you can, and you can splurge, and you want to invest in a computer that's going to help you make more money, for sure, get any Mac, M1, M3, I don't care, but make sure it's at least 32 gigs of RAM, for sure. And if you can, a terabyte hard drive. Like that, bare minimally, you're set for the next like 5 years. You don't have to worry about it. Just don't even touch it. You're set. That's like bare minimum. And then on top of that, Alfred is like the GOAT as far as like bookmark. Now Alfred, which is a little search bar that pops up that allows you to quickly search any file, bookmark, app on your computer and instantly brings it to you without you having to navigate with your mouse, going to go and click around, for example. Hey, and I've been rocking, I saved up for a lot. This was my first MacBook Pro, like after I ran a marketing agency on a MacBook Air. Like, trust, it was better than a PC, and it was better not using Adobe products. Go figure. Like, so this is like the cool, like that's just the bare minimum, just so that the M5s are nice. Not gonna lie, once this guy takes up, I'm gonna get like a tower or just a Mac Mini on the computer, on the desktop, and that he's sole business. That's all. And that's pretty much like bare minimum what you need to like just start playing with. So you're not fighting the computer, which is one of the biggest things, because a lot of people come around like there's different. Sabrina Romanoff did a great post where she's like, after the Tony Robbins event, she was like thinking about it, and she's like, wow, I didn't realize there's a lot of people at different levels of beginner, and even beginners defined differently for even just how people have computer literacy kind of thing versus let alone AI. And so the way I kind of see it is that most people, for sure, what I call level 1 computer literacy, consider it a prerequisite to survive in my community. And that prerequisite requires you to, number one, have a Mac. And then from there, and this is all of the stuff I'm sharing is already documented, is already in a course, is already structured. Step 1, step 2, step 3, already shows you the next 3 steps that you have to do. This is all, it's in the academy. The academy or mastermind, if you get either one. The course, that's the first level. I have you go computer literacy as before before I even have you touch ChatGPT or Notion kind of thing. Like, we need to fix how you just touch a computer, because that's going to be like shortcuts on Mac. I call them hidden menus. Like, they save so much time. These are the stuff that's like, it compounds time, like saving you anywhere from easily 20 hours once you start combining it. Like, once you start using a computer rightly, 10 hours back in your life. Then once you start adding AI, boom, bank another 10 hours every single week of automation. Now with Python, it's not like learning how to, you're not like, oh my God, everything is like solved with Python. But for super specific problems or like data entry, trying to do things in bulk, any custom automation for free, like Python is a tool, a language. And Claude Code, I did ChatGPT Codex, and he was struggling. ChatGPT Codex was burning a lot of tokens and struggling for some of the stuff I needed him to do. He couldn't rewrite a package for like an API that I was working on. Super nerdy, but we have a nerdy audience. And Claude Code came in and was like, "That's what you want? Step aside. Let me handle it. Just say yes whenever the pop-up comes up." That's all Claude asked for. It was like, dope. Because like yesterday I was working on a project, and then I gave it to Claude. I was like, oh, probably Claude's gonna be like, oh, give me a minute. I went to go get laundry. I come back, and oh yeah, I was exporting all the subscriptions from TickTick. There was like 36 subscriptions, or no, I was exporting them from ClickUp, which I was using as my subscription tracker. So it's a whole database, 36 records of subscriptions, details, dates, recurring. All of it was like, it would have took me an hour to copy paste everything manually. An hour of my life is ugh. But then there's those moments, and this is where playing with AI is so dope, because in those moments you're like, I could do things manually just like I've always been doing them, and it's going to take me a lot of time. It's going to be painful. It's going to be boring, repetitive, and I have better things to do with my time kind of thing. So then you're like, wait a minute. The phrase I want you to remember, and for everyone here, you can even type in the comments, code fixes all. That's the quote and phrase. Put it in the comments. Code fixes all. If you're like, man, I wish there was an automation that could do this. Code fixes all. That's what Jonathan said. He said code fixes all. Okay, and he always talks about Python, and he always talks about Claude Code. So maybe I can get Claude Code to say, hey, Claude, can you solve this in Python? And Claude's going to be like, psh, that's it? That's all you want? Psh, step aside, human. Let Claude Code go to work. Pro tip 2, because my members are so gangster. Pro tip 2, and you're also listening to this exclusive podcast, so I share the tips. It's actually, you will hit usage limits with Claude, which is like the most annoying thing ever, because I'm using it for like writing my book. I'm using it for vibe coding Python programs. It's really it's either coding or writing are the top 2 things I'm using Claude for. He's not a daily driver. Claude has usage limits, which makes him so frustrating to work with. So that's why you can actually get like 3 $20 subscriptions for Claude, and that's how you could get around the usage limit. Instead of paying $100 to get the higher tier, you don't need to pay $100. Just rack up the next $20, so now you have $40. When that one hits the limit, they time out for like 3 hours or something like that, and then once that one hits the limit, just rack up another one, and you're still cheaper than the next tier, which is $100. See why it's so dope to be inside the mastermind? the mastermind makes you more money and saves you more money because we share tips and secrets. It's not a course, it's not a training. You're listening from other business owners that are leveraging AI in their business to save more time, to make more money, actual use cases that you won't find in courses. So that's in the mastermind that I thought was a pretty pro tip. So we do that with a lot of subscriptions too, which is like pretty gangster. So yeah, no need to upgrade to Claude Max and pay the $100. Once you hit that usage limit, boom, new account, new email, new card, boom, rack up the next $20. Boom, now you're at $40 and double the limits. And then you can repeat it again and still save money. You can still save another $20. So you could get 3 plans, $20 each, gives you 3 times the more usage limits. And then that extra $20, go spoil yourself. Go reward yourself because you save money. Because when you listen to this podcast, it makes you more money and saves you money for sure. So these are the pro tips. So I definitely want to talk about the tech stack that I'm using. And then we can kind of go, let's take actually a look. Let's skim through the news real quick. I just had my GenSpark, because you could pre-prompt GenSpark to do cool things like a custom GPT. Like I don't use, I should, but by using it in a project folder, it gets persistent memory and it remembers things over time. So I wanted to remember trending articles over time so it could look at patterns week by week. So let's see. ChatGPT just became your personal shopping assistant and it's free. Announcement number 2, HeyGen's November update. Create AI videos from text prompts in seconds. NAN's game-changing Microsoft integration makes AI agents enterprise ready. So if you're a 9-to-5 worker and you use Microsoft, congratulations. Is NAN now in your wheelhouse of approved tools that IT is going to install for you? Because oh my God, we went deep. It was too advanced for the community, unfortunately. Like it was like maybe 1% of the community that's like ready for NAN automation, but NAN automation is gangster. It's like you're building like department automation. Like we've automated an entire social media marketing department. I'm talking researching, writing, generating the avatar to get on camera to say a speech, and then scheduling to publish. Speaking of which, I got to update mine tonight because that AI, I'm going to have you played? I know this whole podcast is basically like popcorn ideas, but have you played with Nano Banana? One of my clients hasn't played with Nano Banana. What's up, David? And I was like, bro, he was showing me his vision board and it has like a jet and a McLaren in the background, and it was like photoshopped in Canva. And I was like, dude, hey Gabrielle, good to see you. I told him, I was like, take that photo of you as the headshot. And he's like, we're gonna need to make that plaque bigger, my boy. Yes, we have members in our community that are hitting 10K months, amongst the other things. Sending love to David. Your plaque is, I'm still working on, because I looked at, they're like, when I like, you triple, you're getting 3 plaques. Well, I think it's good. Well, the first plaque's going to be 10K, and then the next plaque I think is going to be 50K. I think I want to do 3 plaques, like 10, 50, and 100K. Like once you reach those numbers, and one of our members in our community is like triple the 10K. So, and then I want plaques, but the cool thing about plaques, because I'm super inspired after ClickFunnels, I want a ClickFunnels plaque for my members that hit the 10K. The other thing, if you look at GenSpark, poor GenSpark, was it 1 trillion tokens? And then ChatGPT gives them this tiny little plaque. It was the tiny little pocket. I think credit cards were bigger than the thing. There are paperweights that it would look at it and be like, that's insulting. And GenSpark was like, yo, we just spent $1 trillion, $1 trillion in tokens in your servers, like ka-ching, and you give us this tiny little plaque. So I'm going to outdo the plaque size that ChatGPT gives on $1 trillion tokens to my community member, because that's dope. I want to celebrate my community members when they make their 10K, 50, and 100, because that's the goal. Using AI automation saves you time. Well, a lot of what we do is like business development too in the mastermind. It's a lot of business development of like products, ideas, tech stack. He will show it off. Hey, congrats to David. He's going to announce in the community. I'm excited. So Even the first 1K. I should do a plaque for the first 1K actually. Yes, actually, that would be actually we're gonna make it so. So we're gonna have the first 1K and the first 10K plaques in the mastermind. I will set those up because I think that like Standstore has them, ClickFunnels has them, Go High Level has them, and I think they're dope. Like the records on it, I have on my whatever vision board. I have that 10K plaque from ClickFunnels, and I'm like, that's what I'm going for. And so yeah, and the stuff we do in the community is helping with like marketing funnels, the technology and automation and stuff. So shout out to David for crushing it. I love my members. My members are doing dope things. Like they're building apps. I don't mean to rave about my students so much, kind of thing. Are you using ClickFunnels now? No, there's no need to use ClickFunnels unless you've already been using ClickFunnels and it's like native to you. Keep using it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just too expensive and bloated. For $97, you might as well just go to Go High Level and get so much more. CRM, email, app, a bunch of stuff. Like I'd rather go High Level for 97. That's if like you're getting. It depends. Like if you want like simple all in. But then some people are like budget conscious. David's crushing it. He's getting ready for. I got to bring on David now because he's all hyped up. I know David. David's hyped. What's the button? I think that's the button. There we go. Invitation sent. So I leverage your IP network. David is in the I know a guy business. A lot of what I do is also play. I like it's real interesting to see different members and different backgrounds and skills. It's all about like. It's a true community and mastermind of like helping people. David's going around like taking there. I mean, I'll also say I call it a mastermind. I got to stop saying community. It's called the mastermind. The thing with the mastermind is it is what you make of it. If you don't put effort into like showing up to the meetings or reaching out in the DMs for like I call them virtual coffee, or like David's savage on that. Like, and so. You get connected to all the members. Hold on, I gotta remove my microphone. There we go. The man, the myth, the legend. Congrats, is what I hear.
I'm an aggressive networker.
Mm-hmm.
So I spend every day. I always have calls booked on my calendar every day. I have a variety of fun ways that I do that. Some of them are conventional. Some of them are, hey, so and so told me to give you a call. That's what happened to me last week. I had met somebody to let's see, I think it was May. Like so, shortly after I joined you. Oh, so let's tie it to the community. So this is not like this is in no way an accident. I joined this mastermind community in AI. As I'm learning to build, I met somebody else in the community. His name is Richard. He is a marketing coach. He's owned his own agency. He was in the community learning how to use AI as well. Richard introduced me to one of his clients. His client said, I don't do what you do. Do you mind if I introduce you to some clients or referrals as I come upon them? I said, yeah, absolutely. Would love that. Fast forward to last week. I was introduced to a doctor who is making another pivot in their career, and they're hiring me for my expertise that I use AI to scale. So I'm a person of one, I'm a business of one, and they liked me so much they said, hey, would you also work with my family members? I'm like, absolutely. So I'm getting 3 clients in one.
Dude,
And
congrats.
it stemmed from this community.
Congrats. That is, you're doing the hustle, you're doing the work, you're putting in the effort, and this is where it pays off. It's that one person has the connection, the resources that you need to meet, and then unlocks all the opportunity. Dude, congrats. That's awesome. That's huge.
Richard said, I don't know if it makes sense to introduce you. And I was like, hey, look, Richard, I'm happy to talk to anybody. And Richard's not even the only person I've met in this community. But, it goes to show you should just have the conversation, because this person, they do things at a scale that I'm not even at. Like they have a whole operation, and they have their business is automated. They have a team of people. I have just myself, and I happen to do something that he doesn't do, and he was more than happy to refer business to me. So
Yeah.
you got to have the conversation. You have to, even if if you are putting automations at the front end of how you meet people, you still need to have this thing that we're doing right now. This has to happen. A lot of it started to happen when I started to show up here on TikTok. I show up on LinkedIn, but this is where that growth became exponential. It's not easy to do. We talk about how it gets a little bit exhausting to create content. But the thing that energizes me is the actual meeting of people, having conversation with people. And what I've been able to do with how I think when I stack AI on it is where I have done more things in the past 9 months than I had done in my entire career of over a decade.
Yeah.
Just learning fundamental things. Like, I'm not doing end-to-end automations. I probably won't. That might not be my thing. But everything else I've learned to do with the way that I think and connect with people, that's where these other opportunities have come about. And now, what I really like about the success of the last 24 hours is that now I have time to give back to help other people in my community, both online but also in person, like where I live. And that is like the biggest like game changer is the time freedom. I feel like I'm buying back my life.
There you go. There
because
it
I've
is.
been able to scale so many things.
There it is. Dude.
And that's it. That's all I want to share.
Let's go. That's huge. Again, I know the hustle. I know the grind. Like month over month, we've been narrowing down all the way from back in the day of like, what do I put the link in my bio to now? So much growth. So, David, keep crushing it. I'm truly blessed. Honestly.
Awesome, man.
I'll see you in the community.
I don't want to monopolize.
You got it. Crush it, man. Thanks for the update. Let's go. Every member is on their own journey. I'm gonna get you guys the nice audio. And there you guys. Now you should have the better audio. Shout out to David. Because the community is what you make of it. I mean, just showing up is just part of it. It's the people that you meet there. Like, everyone in there is a heavy hitter in their own industry. Like, these people are all no joke. They're all experts in their own domains. The magic happens when people connect. That's what I liked about the office hours versus like me just teaching. It's like, oh my God, a lot of teaching. But the office hours, and even like when I put you guys in small, like I used to put you guys in small, so much back in the day when I used to put you guys in small one-on-one groups, because that's the real connection I found is like, when you're two parts of like one of the biggest growths is like in the community. One is being in the room week over week, sharing what you've learned and listening to what other people are sharing. So there's no gatekeeping. That lifts all our boats, and we all learn new tricks, hack tools, workflows. That's how we all got onto GenSpark. And then the other side is the relationships. You'll find a business partner. You'll find a lead. You'll find a person who's helping you with either the implementation or the knowledge that you're lacking or you're looking for all this time. So that's why I'm trying to like make it kind of scalable, where it's like it's not just me, but it's really putting all the members together, meeting weekly, and you guys are all on the same path. You're all on the same path, trying to use AI and automation to buy back your time to make more money. You're all on the same path. So it's like, so you're just at different stages using different tools. Not all of the tools are going to be applicable, but like what we're doing is like, that's the goal of the community, is like not to do shiny object, but it's like trying to push all the boundaries of what's possible with the tools so that we could from there synthesize use cases of how we could use it in our business to create an app. One of the members in the certification program, he's now going straight into vibe coding so that he could build his website, he could build his lead magnet, he could build his assessment for his business, all vibe coded using Cursor. I'm going to teach him VS Code and Claude, but just using the same tools. Even if you want to get started for free, Google AI Studio. If you're like for free, like Google AI Studio for free is super dangerous. You got the best chatbot, the best image generator. By the way, that image generator for Nano Banana, amazing. Like I was talking about vision boards with one of my clients, and I was like, oh, just put your photo and what you want in the background. It made an actual photo of him, what looked like an actual photo of him with the things that he wanted in the background. I was like, damn, that's really good. I was like, because you could use it for your marketing material. You could use it for headshots. You could use it for all your promotion material. Nano Banana. Building apps in Google AI Studio, so easy to do and free. GenSpark, Right now, me and GenSpark, here's the cool thing about GenSpark is create a project folder and just one project folder and have all your conversations in that one project folder, because then it unlocks persistent memory so that you could continue to, or it remembers things about you over time, so you don't have to every time you have a business question, you go to ChatGPT or GenSpark, doesn't matter, they both have project folders. I still like ChatGPT as much as I still bash it online. I still like it as my daily driver because it's unlimited and it's quick and fast, easy. It's quick and fast because GenSpark is going to be like deep project analysis, like roadmap, executive decisions. I trust GenSpark's output more. Don't be afraid to disagree with GenSpark though. Not everything GenSpark says is. GenSpark does have tunnel vision. I've noticed he's really good, but he does have tunnel vision, so you can disagree with him. Man, I'm so hyped on David. That's so dope. Congrats, David. And all the members too, we have a form of like wins. Like one member, she gave a speech to 2,000 teachers about AI and ethics and best practices, all from the stuff that she learned a lot from the community. There's so much. It's hard for me to narrow down what is the transformation of the mastermind of the community. That's like the hardest thing, for at least for me. But at the end of the day, that's one thing David would say is like, you'll buy back your time, you'll move faster, like you'll get more done in a month than you would in 6 months. Like it's insane. Like last night I was vibe coding 3 different Python programs, and I was so grateful. I'm like, what? And I understand what's going on. I know how to troubleshoot it. I know how to debug it. I'm like, this was something I've been struggling for years to learn how to do, like, because it unlocks a whole new level of automation. Like once you unlock the fluency of like Python and working with VS Code to just spin up a program, troubleshoot it till it works, and now you got an automation, that is like super powerful and also super free. So like that's why I'm like, you got to do the reps of the skill sets. So that's why each little Python program that I'm like vibe coding with GenSpark is like building the skills and the confidence over time so that I could automate so much more in my life. So much so, let's talk. Let's like bring it in here. We gotta talk. I gotta let you guys in on a little secret here. Okay, this is just between us, right? All right. Here's what I see over the next year for sure. I already see it. Next year, you're gonna have personalized AI that knows you, AI that has your best interests in heart, AI that's going to help manage your tasks, your work, your, like a life coach or a business coach should, basically. And it's going to get smarter over time. It's going to get more personalized, and it's going to get more, let's call it life operating system OS, let's call it. I'm already playing with a couple Python programs of like building a life OS system in like, this is separate to other members projects kind of thing too. Because I wanted to manage, because I understand 2 things, like TickTick is great as a database to help you execute on tasks. Notion is your second brain, but they're kind of separate. And there's no AI that kind of moves across that has a holistic, because basically, here's basically what it's, I came up with these agents. Let me talk about this because this is brainstorming. I'm noticing a pattern of like super agents that you need to have in your life. And there's a series of ones that these executive super agents are like essential for you to have in your tool stack or your tech stack. Number 1, you need a developer agent. Claude, GenSpark, or Claude, Google AI Studio, Cursor, Replit, whatever. Doesn't matter. Some vibe coding tool you need to be very comfortable with, whatever one that works for you. Like at the end of the day, everyone's coming different budgets, different. I recommend free Google AI Studio. If you want to pay for little, Claude Code and VS Code. Or I don't like Cursor because the subscription for it. Because at the end of the day, I could hook up a VS Code to an API and get cheaper tokens. Because you are paying for tokens, and not everything needs the smartest tokens for doing code edits or for managing. So you do need a developer agent in your back pocket. This agent you give tasks to and say, you write the code, you build the website, you create the Python program, you vibe code the whatever app. So you need a developer agent. Pick one. I'm getting better with Claude Code, and VS Code is a really good workflow. It's free-ish outside of Claude. Second, you need is, Or is this one with the agents? Essential AI agents. You need GenSpark, which is your daily driver, like your work. He's your office worker. He's the one that like does the researching, compiles the reports, does the presentations. He's doing all your office work basically. You delegate that to Claude. Anything your development, you delegate that to Claude. And then sorry, the white office work, like the 9 to 5 white collar work, just delegate that to GenSpark. So like building websites, apps, it's mostly researching, synthesizing, making executive decisions, like big decisions. um that's so now we got Claude and we got GenSpark. The next one, I'm starting to see this pop up online, and I get it, and it's actually a big thing that needs to be addressed. Is actually managing emails. There's a few services that I haven't seen that like fully automate your inbox, because there's a lot of stuff in there that you just don't need it. So, however, because Claude and Python, there's some library out there that already exists because you're leveraging the open source community, which is super dope. um it's called email inbox zero agent. It's a Python program. Now here again, I say Python, I say coding, but just know throughout the whole workflow, you're not writing a single line of code. You don't even have to read the code. Like it's just the workflow. So that's why I don't want you guys to be intimidated or freaked out. Like dive when I'm going to show you guys this process in the mastermind. So right now I'm working on him. I just downloaded him last night and I was playing with it because there's a software that does that. I was on Instagram and I saw this ad for like email, like automate your inbox. It runs every day at 9 a.m. It scans all your emails, and any ones that are important, it will draft a reply. So when you wake up in the morning, you just go through your drafts, send or not send, or edit and send, and you're done. And I was like, but it was like $22 a month. And I was like, I know Python. Why can't I just Python something, my own custom thing, and then create my own custom rules? So there's one, and there's a couple libraries that are out there. This one I came across is Email Inbox Zero Agent. Let me get you guys the name. If you're in the community, I posted this in the community. It's a GitHub. Yeah, this is, and the GitHub is nice. Like Inbox Zero, your 24/7 AI email assistant. It organizes your inbox, pre-drafts replies, tracks follow-ups so that you reach inbox zero faster. It's open source. Because the one that was out there, I don't want to say their name because they're not paying me anything. So they're the competitor of like the main one basically. But yeah, so if you're in the community, I posted it in the discussion forum. This one is free. It's open source. And you just download the repo and just runs. And he's like, I don't want to say like the code stuff. It's just Node.js and Python. That's it. So, but here's the cool thing about it. You take the GitHub URL and you just give it the Claude Code in VS Code. That's my workflow. As I just open up VS Code. I have a project folder called Python project. So I just mess around in there. I open up Claude and I say, Claude, yo homie, yo developer homie, here's a URL from GenSpark or from GitHub. Download this into a new folder and make it work. And he goes off and he's like, all right, on it. And he'll go make the changes. The only things that you have to do after is like you have to add like sometimes API keys. You have to maybe save API keys in a .env file, which is like best practice. We're going to go through a workflow of like how to do this, because once you unlock, because then you don't have to do NaN, and it's free, and there's powerful libraries out there, and Claude, or your AI tool of choice, is going to code the whole thing for you. It is so fun because you unlock you go shopping. Imagine an app store that's what GitHub is like. There's some really good like GitHub trending ones and stuff. Like I downloaded one that allows me to search all of Notion from Alfred. Super nuanced, but if you're an Alfred on Mac, you can search from there all your entire Notion. So it's one quick, I just press shift twice and then I can search anything in Notion and then it'll take me to that page instantly. That saves me a ton of time because everything in Notion is your second brain. So that's where I store everything. Such a hack. And so you don't have to, I'm excited to just go deeper. And this just takes whatever 1,000 hours, meaning just start building projects. For example, extra time if your secrets are shared with Claude, have it write a password reset script. Coder dude on David, like check out his live stream because they'll actually show you how to run Python's program, how you do Cloud Code through Terminal, and you map out your projects. I'm like, oh my, you're like framing a house and like working out the plumbing and everything. And then for me, I'm like, I went to Home Depot. My name is Jeff. I slapped it together and I made a go-kart out of 2x4s and it goes fast. I'm excited at that. So that's where it's like the difference. I'm not a developer in any shape, but I want to learn more. Like I want to learn best practices. Like what I'm doing is not the best. Like it's just I always find like what's the quickest, fastest hack process. So I want to learn more about like the best practice, the best workflow, because here's what I imagine. You have a folder on your computer called Super Agent, and Super Agent knows everything about you and has custom programs for things that you want, like we were talking about right now. Like these are the essential AI agents. We talked about Claude, we talked about GenSpark, but now things get like super bespoke. Like there's no, like we all want an agent to manage our email for sure. Like why can't we? It's 2025. Why is that not a thing? Like that is the number one thing of like us, and that's part. Now here's the cool thing. It's a folder that's now superpowered. That's some GitHub or custom code. Claude even rewrote the whole API because the guy was using it. It didn't work out for his end use, so rewrote a new API. And I'm like, this is dope. So I want to republish mine back to the original guys so that I can contribute back to the open source community and be like, yo, maybe you guys will find this helpful. But then that's just one in your super agent that has folders of superpowers, and everyone's going to have different superpowers. These are just like what I find are like the most common ones that I think is like, that's a common use. It's like, it's a one custom coded Python program tailored to your preferences so that you can have it manage your inbox, and it saves you an hour per day. It goes in your email every single day. It scans it. If there are things that, because one was like, he's a parent and he wanted to know when his kids had like school emails, for example. He's like, I get a ton, he gets like 50 emails a day. And he's like, I just need the ones from my school and they send it with different emails. So you can't really do it with filters. Python. Just a little requirement, and you just tell it too. You just tell Claude, you're like, hey Claude, I want to add well, actually the interesting is this dude's library. I posted the video in the community. The way this dude did the library, it has a user interface, like a dashboard. So it has like a ChatGPT like interface where you could customize your managing your inbox. It's so dope. Like check out in the community. It's one of my recent posts. What is it called? I think it's like automate your email 24/7, something like that. That's where I'm like, I'm addicted to like one plugin added. So that's very interesting. I'm gonna share the workflow, at least how I'm vibe coding. I don't know. We'll see. I'm working on a finance tracker because I want something to manage the business finances automatically, where I just drag and drop. That's another agent, is a finance tracker. I feel you should have a finance tracker that should manage all your finances across the different ones. It doesn't connect to the banks, just for security. It doesn't connect to the banks. I'm thinking, because that takes a whole like complicated extra stuff that I don't want to do. I don't want to like automatically pull records and do like that's extra messiness. So I'm cheating. I always cheat when I write codes. I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to download the CSV files and then have Python. Yeah, basically it does QuickBooks, but automated. Because it's so stupid to me that it's like QuickBooks is manual. That is and you're paying stupid amounts of money every single, and they keep raising the price. They're not adding features to make your life. They're making you more dependent on bookkeepers and this. And I'm like, this is stupid. Like, I did a post I think like 3 months ago asking for like pre-made software, and there's a list in the community of like off the shelf, it's AI built, they have already built it, and you just pay a simple subscription and it will do all the stuff. I want to build mine in Python so I could customize it, tailor it, and then I could train a model on it, which would be even more gangster. Because then if I just download my entire year statements, as long as they're in CSV format, just dump them in there. It's just a CSV. like beautiful soup in Python. Python solves like Python math libraries and CSV and like database libraries. That's not a hard thing. That's a super easy thing. So I'm like, and then you add AI on top of it. So I'm like, I just wanted to automate my P&L every month, basically, so I can make executive choices instead of the process of generating P&L with QuickBook. Ugh. So that's my other agent that I'm like, why isn't this automated now? Because now I have Python. That Python is like this. Think of it as like the laser gun from the Death Star, and it's so powerful, and you're just focusing it on whatever problem that you want. And you're like, hey, automate my email, Claude. Let me just take a little magnifying glass and move it down here. Solve this. And Claude's like, solved. And you're like, that was cool. Hey, come over here. Solve this. And it's like solved. It's like, oh, this is great. You just focus wherever you want AI to like solve it for you. And AI is really good right now. So, and it's only going to get better. I'm excited. So these things, these skill sets, they come down from fundamentals. The fundamentals are really coming down to you knowing, number one, on a Mac. Number two, you know how to do basic prompting, voice to text, stuff like that. Number three, you're comfortable with like a digital notebook because you have to stay organized and work with these complex projects. Then GenSpark, so speaking of which, and to make up for it too, the weird thing is just promoting it, but I think I'm just gonna live stream it just to make it easy too. Let me look at my calendar before. So should it be in the afternoon? I'm just thinking probably this Friday. I don't know what time. This Friday, I want to do a ChatGPT. I know everyone's like Black Friday and stuff like that. The only reason is I'm not going to be around. I'm not going to be here Saturday. I'll be out of town kind of thing. So that's where I'm like, I can't teach on Saturday, but I can teach a free class on Friday. So if you join with I think the link in the bio is to the free ChatGPT workshop. Technically, they're every Saturday, and I wholeheartedly apologize because last Saturday I honestly burnt out. Last Saturday I stayed up to like 7 a.m. Literally 7 a.m. The workshop was at 10, and I was like working on the script for the workshop, but it wasn't the way I wanted it. I wanted dialed, and so I just conked out from exhaustion. Sent you a couple of AIs that came up on my end for review. Did you get them? No, check them out. Will definitely check them out, Gabrielle. And then the other thing too is that you just get burnt out. I'm going with, so I'll give you guys a whole like case, like what's actually going on behind the scenes of the whole business. I've been going back and forth to try and figure out what is a more sustainable business model for the community, because I'm doing way too craziness of like 6 p.m. live streams, teaching 4 days a week, workshops on Saturday, kind of craziness. So that's where I've kind of moved into this next 2 tiers, where it's like 2 tiers for the community. You have the mastermind, which is everything we've been doing already, the community. And then the other side is the academy. Courses only, you could binge them like Netflix has all my best courses, but it allows people to stay up to date with AI without having to invest in the bigger stuff as like the community. So that's what I've been doing on the back end, and then revamping everything, trying to automate a lot of it as well too. So it brings a lot of more consistency into the business. So that's one of the biggest things. And then I messed up because I redirected my domain to SiteGround, but then it disconnected my work email. So I can't send emails this whole week. So please forgive me. As of last Saturday, I couldn't even, it was actually since last week, since I think it was like last Thursday, I did the shift because I was so aggressive. I had to leave lead pages. Lead pages would not, like their website kept crashing, and it's like, it's so annoying. And so it was like 11 o'clock at night, and I was like, I need to vibe code a new website. Like, and lead pages was like, we can't fix anything. So I was like, oh, you're useless, and I'm paying you what? So I was like, forget this. So I got up ChatGPT, and I was like, yo, ChatGPT, what's your options? Let's go WordPress. Hostinger, where do we go? And it was like, hey, if you want quick, fast, and easy one-click WordPress, just go SiteGround. And SiteGround had an 80%. SiteGround had a Black Friday special, which I highly recommend. It's only $2 a month for hosting, and it was a very easy process for installing WordPress on it. Here's the problem. Here's the thing I did not know. You just don't know what you don't know. So if you redirect name servers, which is what I did for my DNS settings, you lose all your MX records for email marketing. I'm speaking super Chinese and super nuanced, but for the people who understood what just happened, didn't know that. So I've been frustrated. Can't get into Kit, my email. David's like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Oopsie. So learning, I definitely put that as a lesson for the community. SiteGround. So SiteGround, SiteGround. It's a hosting service. So if you have a domain, you can buy your domain anywhere, Park Bun, Namecheap. You want to host, think of like your domain as your address, 1234 Happy Street. Then the land of where you build your website or your house, the land is basically hosting. And that's, thank you, David, SiteGround. SiteGround they're still having it right now. It's when you just go to SiteGround, it's like $2 a month it's 80% off. I think it was 80%. Yeah, it was 80% off. It was like Black Friday. I was like, you get your whole website, unlimited pages, no hosting. It didn't recommend Hostinger. It was just a little more expensive. And it actually, ChatGPT said, there's nothing wrong with Hostinger. If you have it, you're fine, really. There's nothing wrong with it. When I talked to ChatGPT was like, I need quick, fast, one-click button. I don't care. I want convenience. And ChatGPT was like, oh, okay. Hostinger. Hostinger. It's the weirdest name. These names are weird. Hostinger. I'm gonna be in old people's home, like rocking in a corner, staring out the window, going, Hostinger, GenSpark, Python fixes everything. They're like, Grandpa thinks he's live streaming. It was a thing they did back in the day. We don't live stream anymore. Grandpa, the phone's not around. What? Take a screenshot. Y'all are funny. So if you go through that process, FYI, you have to redo all your MX records, which are values that you put into the settings so that all your emails go to the right place. Because if you don't, I don't have business email. It's actually business email. I don't have access to my business email for the last week and a half. And I'm like, that means I can't log into certain apps. I can't. I'm like, wow. And I got to wait for DNS settings to propagate right now. So it's like two issues for me and another client. DNS settings and propagating and getting them updated has been an issue of like, So fun fact. So it is worth just a little extra thing. Cloudflare. That may be interesting. Cloudflare. I may have to Google that and give that to ChatGPT and actually be like, yo, can we get off SiteGround to Cloudflare to do the thing so it actually works? Because, yeah, here we slam with emails on it. And then I'm going on vacation this weekend. It's from Saturday to next Tuesday. I'm going to be off vacation too. So it's like, I'm trying to set up things so they're automated and like, I'm like handicapped. So that's why I was like, Saturday was just, I couldn't send emails to remind to cancel. I couldn't even send an email to cancel last Saturday. That's why I was like, I was so logged out. I was like, So going on a cruise to, I think it's Catalina. Cruise to Catalina. I'm not cooking for Thanksgiving, so I'm taking my dad out and then paying for the whole trip. And I'm like, trip's on me. Let's go hang out. Just get out. So it'll be a good little family trip, which is one of the biggest things. But yeah, so fun things that you're learning. Input your domains through Cloudflare. That's what I need to do. Yeah, thank you, David. That's what I needed to hear. See, it's the community. Like, you have these nuanced questions and problems, and then you come in, I'm still not getting emails. So I got to try the Cloudflare technique. Right now I'm waiting for SiteGround's DNS records. I'm 24 hours into 48 hours of them kind of things setting up. So I'm like, So I will let you know. I appreciate you guys. People in the community are just so amazing. That's what it's about. One of the biggest things. Oh, if you want, hold on. This may answer this, actually. Sorry, I didn't see that button. There we go. Richard. We got to talk to you, Richard, next. Hey, David.
No, I was going to say it was still down, what you could do is if you ended up pointing your domain in Cloudflare, what you could do is they go down to their email tab over on the side, and they have a way where you can set up unlimited emails that will forward to any other email. So where your emails were down, you could set up any kind of email you want and then forward it to a different email that is not your domain email until you could get it set up again wherever you wanted them. That's what I do with all mine. So I set up a Gmail account that's
Okay.
like whatever the business name is .gmail. Then
Uh-huh.
I go on Cloudflare, set up the domain name. Then I go in their email section and set up all the different account names like finance, support, account, SSL, all the different kinds of emails I want for that domain, and then I forward them all to the Gmail one. Then when I get the business going, I
Mm-hmm.
then go create those actual email boxes. But I have them forwarding
Uh,
until I get the business off the ground. But I can create all the different email accounts, and they're just forwarded email boxes.
Interesting. So you move everything from the DNS or name servers to route to Cloudflare, and then from Cloudflare, you could manage and route to SiteGround. That be
Yeah,
it?
yeah, because
Ah.
Cloudflare, you can manage your DNS through them. So you point your DNS, you can point your domain from wherever you own your domain to Cloudflare, then
Mm-hmm.
manage your DNS through there, and then point it to wherever you want to host. That way, if you flip host, you're not going back to wherever you owned it. Also, then Cloudflare does all of its DNS protection for you too. And if you ever get DDoS, it will just like null route your site versus taking down your actual website. Like they do those protections. They got
Ah.
analytics. Like you can see what kind of traffic and bandwidth. They got the email thing. They've got all kinds of other things that you can do in there. They like have
Dope.
SSL. They'll add to your website if you don't have SSL on your website. Like there's all kinds of stuff they'll do in there on top of your website for you for free too. I'm not paying for any of that. So
Dope.
there's a lot of things they'll do in the free package.
Dope. That's that's my homework tonight. While I wait for this to work out, I'm like, you know what? I was like, that's genius. So that will save a ton of time, and that way I'm more protected over in Cloudflare than dealing with SiteGround.
Yeah, definitely. That'd be the way
Nice.
I'd go. I mean, you'll still use SiteGround as your hosting platform. You'll just be going through Cloudflare as like an extra layer of protection. And they do have a way where when you're setting your DNS, you can toggle on their DDoS protection or all their protection, or you can turn it off, or it'll just go straight through them to your website directly. And sometimes they'll tell you to turn it on, sometimes they'll tell you not, depending on the kind of things you're doing. So.
Nice. That's gold. That is absolute gold. I appreciate that. That's going to help a lot. Share what you're working on.
Oh yeah. So as you were saying, I last week stumbled upon. I've been
Yep.
working on learning how to build LLMs and the whole dev team, but I stumbled upon there's got to be a better way to build LLMs, and with that, I've always been trying to find a way to have something that would manage projects for me. So I came up with a concept. It's called Meet Kill. I shared it in the community, and I am working on describing, going to be talking about it on the TikToks. It is it's like a mix of AI. It's basically something that's an assistant to you, and it lives on your desktop. It's not in the cloud at all. Basically, what it does is it will sit there and you can type to it, and it remembers what you tell it, and it will keep reminders for you, and it remembers in context what you tell it. So like if you told it I ate tacos for lunch,
Mm-hmm.
then over time as you told it different things you ate for lunch, it would never suggest those things if you ask it what should I eat for dinner.
Nice.
It also has different personas, so you could set up a persona for like gaming, music, and
Yep.
movies, and you can separate each of those different ones so that you can have them each. But when you search, it will search all of them. Even better, you can then set up one for financing and encrypt that one versus the other ones that you don't worry about because they're just general, just conversation pieces. But ones that you're more worried about, like work or finance, can encrypt. So some of the things like finance or work, you might have numbers in there or personal client stuff that if something were to happen, you wouldn't want people to get into that information. So basically, the idea was it's a way that you can put knowledge in this thing and it can remember everything that you tell it and regurgitate it back to you, but it doesn't forget or ever hallucinate. And it'd be like, what appointments do I have in the next week? What appointments do I have in the next month? What appointments do I have in these particular days over this particular time? What are my favorite foods? What foods have I said I hate? Like, it basically will learn from the different contextual things you say over time, and the more data you put in it, the more it learns the things you like, dislike, love, or hate. And it knows the difference between those different things.
It knows you over time. It's private, and then it's like having a personal Alexa without none of your data being leaked.
And it will talk to you. Jonathan saw me speak into it, and you actually will let so you can speak to it, and it will write what you speak. And then I'm working on integrating. Well, it'll actually voice talk back to you, so it'll actually let you talk to
Mm-hmm.
it, and it talk back to you. So the idea is everybody's talked about all these cloud ones and all these big ones that you go to, and you go that way, and they're like everybody's gonna have one that sits on their computer,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the future. Well, I built the
Yep.
future now. You can have one that lives on your computer now. That's what I've gone to. Is you have it on your local computer where you can use it and you can give it your information, and you know where your information's living versus in the cloud. You don't know what they're doing with it. All your data is on your PC. You know where it is, and you're telling it what you want, and you understand what's going on.
Yep. It's personal. It knows you. It's very easy to use. It's like just talking to ChatGPT, little chat interface. But the thing is, it remembers everything about you and then all the details. But then things you want to just like quick add, you don't have to. The thing with Notion is that it's so complicated to like set everything up and data entry in, data entry out kind of thing. That's what David's eliminates. You just chat with it and it just remembers. Persistent
Yeah,
memory over time.
yeah, like he was saying, the concept I was going for is I was tired of interfaces like Notion, Asana, Jira, all these platforms where there's an interface, and I had to go through all these different iterations of how to store my data, and then like
Mm-hmm.
going in the future of the whole minority report where you have 3D and you can move and manipulate. I was like, let's cut all that out and go straight for the whole human-like experience where I literally have a person that I tell, I want you to pick up my dry cleanings. Remind me to do this. I have this grocery item I need to pick up later on. I just need something that's like a black box that I can tell it all this
Mm-hmm.
information and it just remembers. And when I need it to come out, I just ask it and it can tell me. And so it came into that. And so then that way you can build, I'm going to make it where people can build interfaces on top of it with plugins. That is a future product of it. So if you
Mm-hmm.
want to go GUI and that kind of thing where you want to see visualizations, there'll be the ability, but the core product to it is the ability to tell it and it remember and to be able to get that information back out.
Yep. Simple. Easy to
I
use.
created this literally in 3 days over a weekend.
The interesting, it's a you're but and the
It
thing.
took about a week. It took about a week to really build it, but you got to understand this is like a project I've been thinking of for probably over like 4 to 6 months, and I've put a lot of other pieces of technology that I've been writing. A lot of other projects kind of helped me come to the concept of this because what I've been doing is I've been trying to write an AI dev team that could help me code faster, that could build all the pieces, which delves me into how do LLMs really work. And so what happened was last Friday, I sat down with Claude at 9 o'clock and I said, "There's got to be a better way for LLMs to work because right now it takes so long for them to be trained, and once they're trained after a day, weeks, or all this time, hours and all this power and all these GPUs, you get this one model and it can never learn again." I was
Mm-hmm.
like, there's got to be a way to make them where you can continually train them. And so I sat down with ChatGPT and I was like, we got to be able to take this concept of an LLM model. And I was trying to build my own models too. was like, we got to take this concept of LLM models and be able to make it where it constantly is changing and it doesn't stay static. Like we can continue that training and we work through iterations and concepts. But out of that, this assistant came. And I was like, okay, that's the first iteration. The next iterations is it learning from you. And then the next iterations, it then being able to take that the what it learns from you and then starts being able to create from that. Now it's not there yet, but over
Oh
time as
yeah.
it continues, like that's the levels that the future of where I want it to go. But the basic of where it came was something that it can contextually learn what you tell it and understand what you're telling it, so it can come back out to you and say, this is what you meant, what you're saying, this is a reminder, this is what you're looking for. So you're not having to look up all the information that you put right back into it.
Yeah, that's one of the big. The only thing is just do a demo video and then post that with your post, because that's showing you that's all you need, and that way people could onboard and get users from the community to try it. Because I like, there's a ton of people that need that simple place, simple app that just remembers. That's what you're guaranteeing is for private, and it will remember it over time. Simple in, simple out. You don't have to worry about organizing it, where to put it. Just dump it in. It will remember, just like your permanent brain, your second brain.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've been doing data analytics for competitors, and there really is there's no one even close to the level of what I've had this thing doing. Like, there's people that are doing parts and pieces, but no one that's doing the contextual part, where it figures out if you like, love, or dislike, or hate, and then the remembering and all. There's a lot that like remember you tell it and it remembers and it regurgitates it back, or like something that's a reminder app, but there's not any that has contextual understanding of your liking or loving or disliking, or those contextual pieces and your feelings about, your understanding at those levels. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's the piece that's like the next level to it. And so it's been like trying to figure out how to bring that to market. And then I was starting to build it to kind of target businesses first, and I've had a lot of individuals be interested. And like you were saying, when we were talking, a lot of individuals interested. So
Yep.
I'm having to kind of rewrite marketing script on top of the business material for personal as well, which I knew people personally would be interested. But I was kind of trying to start with just some business. So I'm writing personal material now as well. So I'm making some marketing changes to what I'm going to be presenting. So that's what's just taking a little longer. So once I get that changed, you're exactly right. I'm gonna get a demo video. I'm gonna start doing some TikToks, and start, showing this thing and getting some interest, get some beta users, and get it out there.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people agree. It's like it's there's a whole demographic of the seniors seniors elderly at home that use Alexa for reminders for their to take their medication, when to do certain things, remember certain facts about XYZ, quick add. And then the only downside is it's going to the Jeff Bezos mothership of training data, and we want to give Bezos more money or data. So that's what yours is. I mean, there's a whole lot of people individual that could benefit from a permanent brain.
Absolutely. And someone after you said that, someone else came along the same path as you did, made a good point. I might actually be able to use the Echo and all these other voice ones,
Ooh.
but there might be a way to connect to them with
Oh,
mine encrypted, or make a deal with them where they don't see the information, and then not have to have my own hardware. There might be a way.
that would be
So then
great.
that way the way I share certain information and other information I don't. So then that way, I'm not giving away everything in the database. Only certain things like reminders or certain things is shared through the Echo or the certain devices. So then that way, it is not giving them everything.
Yeah, that's already tapped into another market. But again, that would later on, I mean, a simple Bluetooth device. There's some open source hardware that can connect real easily, Bluetooth to your
Oh yeah.
computer or something. But that's going to be a big thing because yeah, solving Man, I do it with Notion. It's like people need some digital notebook to store information because there's just too much in life and business. And Notion's one way. It's a manual data entry. So we are going to go into a future where everything's voice command. You're going to just tap a button or just wave a hand and just voice command whatever you want, and then the AI is going to go organize, put it where it needs to be, and then retrieve it when you need it.
Yeah, and that's the concept. I'm so tired of having 300 tabs on my computer and on my phone every day. It's giving me like 10, 20 different articles to read. I don't have enough time to read them all, but every once in a while I'm like, hey, what was that article from 3 to 5 days or 20 days ago? And I'm like trying to scroll through and find it. I'm like, if I had something like what I just built that could just catalog those each day
Mm-hmm.
into it, then I could just go ask it, what was that article? Can you give me a summary of it? Now, it can't do the summary part yet, but it can
That's
bring the article up. I drop that article in ChatGPT and be like, hey, give me a summary. But that's future features. I can then get it to give me summaries in the future. Like that's building upon what's there. But it could at least get me that was, and then I could go from there.
yeah.
And like you said, it's just having something that is that extra brain that can store all that extra capacity that you as a person can't remember or you don't have access to, or has all your finances and kind of get the numbers together for you so that you just have them in one place and then you can easily do what you got to do. Or
Mm-hmm.
you're trying to find new music, it just has a list of all your music, and then some you can put that into an AI that can analyze it to help you
Mm-hmm.
find new songs, or has a list of all the movies you've ever watched. Or there's so many directions, like you were saying, for people that are needing help remembering their medicine or all those reminders.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many directions this can go because it's just a second brain for people, and it's on your own PC. It's not
Mm-hmm.
going to ever go anywhere. There's no company that can close down because it lives on your PC. As long as you have the hard drive space, it's always there.
It's like back to where software, we're reverting back to when software was just buy it, you own it, and you own it. It's just there. It just works. No subscription. Well, it makes it a lot easier. So you have a whole market. There's so many people that are trying to solve that problem that this is perfect. So definitely more videos, progress studies, like document your journey. Like for a lot of people, that this is how you're going to get your beta users. It's just once they start seeing demos and use cases and stuff, it's a great software.
I totally agree.
Amazing. No, grateful, David. And thank you for the Cloudflare recommendation. I'm going to do
Yeah, no
that
problem. Thank you for
tonight.
asking.
Oh my
I
gosh.
appreciate that. Yeah.
So people were like, why isn't John responding to his emails? You're like, I would if I just. So imagine that is so funny. It makes no
Yeah,
difference.
if you run into something like that, man, hit me up. I might can give you a direction like I just did and get you on something fast to get you. If your email's down, yeah, message me on the computer like my email's down. I need a solution. Yeah, hit me
Never
up on
thought.
something like that. Yeah, I know. I do it too. I'm like I should have asked such and such about something. Sometimes you just don't. You're in a heat of the moment. You just don't think about it. So I get that too. So
We hit a brick wall with ChatGPT. ChatGPT said that's all I could do, so it must be all. Hey, Maria. Good to see you. No, that's awesome. I appreciate it, David. No,
yeah, no problem. I'll drop back down.
you're a blessing. Stay blessed. Everyone hit up Coder Do David to help you build your vibe coding app and get it to production. And then we got Maria in the chat who makes an amazing hot sauce. And then also it's like a very interesting like honey hot sauce as well too. They're like amazing. So definitely follow Maria the Spicy Chef. We got a lot of great people online tonight. Good to see each and every one of you. We talked about, oh my gosh, we talked about a lot of the main things over here. It's like, whew. But I'm excited for this week. Tomorrow is class. So class tomorrow. I'm going to. Oh, hopefully not. I may have to hold on. My microphone is on the. I may have to. Okay. I may have to hold it so it doesn't break. I can't touch my microphone. I moved it too much. It's about to like snap off. Okay, so while my microphone is about to get snapped off, Tuesday I'm going to basically be teaching ChatGPT fundamentals. Basically, what I was going to do for the Saturday thing, I'm going to teach you guys in the workshop. So on Tuesday, so that we have that. Wednesday, still think I think it may be maybe a GenSpark day. Check the ads. I will definitely check out those ads and our DM conversation for sure. I'll definitely check it out. It may not be allowed. We'll see. I'll definitely check it out though, Gabriel. Definitely. And then we got Sid in the house. We had a packed house tonight, which is a great episode. And then I'm working on getting guest speakers for AI. So if you use AI in your business or have used AI to make money, as a case study, built an app, did spec work for creating a commercial ad using AI. Like any of those case studies, I want to promote more case studies to motivate and inspire other people so that they can see what's possible. I don't have a formal way just yet, but just keeping in mind, placeholder, I am opening up spots for podcast guest speakers. So if you're a thought leader, if you've done something with AI in your business or stuff, and it could benefit everyone, learning, inspiring, and education for everyone, we're going to do like a guest speaker official kind of thing. So it's a podcast. I'm setting up for take this podcast to another level. So that's coming up. And then the last things, sign up for the email list. I will be able to send the emails out. Friday, I'm going to do a free one to all the people that are not in the community. So if you're not in the community, show up Friday. I'll be teaching ChatGPT live. I'll send the Zoom link out. Just sign up for the emails in there. And then if you want to join the community, I'm going to have two plans. The Academy, which is now $25 a month, gets you access to all the courses. And then the Mastermind or community is pretty much everything else that we've been doing already. The weekly workshops, the coaching, the mentorship, the support, all the courses. That's all regular in the community. So now we have kind of two tiers. So those are now available. Outside of that, I will see you guys tomorrow in our next live stream for teaching. And then this is going to be a packed week. So happy Thanksgiving to every one of you and yours. What time Friday? TBD on Friday. I still have to look at my calendar. We'll see. I just don't know what time yet. But if you're in the community Tuesday, I'm going to teach it to the community members. So that way all the community can move up and level up. So awesome. I will catch you guys later. Join the community, join the academy. I'll stay up to date with AI, keep building, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye, everyone. Bye, Gabrielle. Thank you so much, David. Sid, good to see you. We had Maria come into the show today. We had a packed audience. David 3 times the 10x. So congrats to David. We're going to learn more about that in the community. Sid, and then we had new Rush Studios. Nice to meet you. Seeing all the new people that came into the live stream. Richard came in and got to say hi. I know Richard's doing a lot with him. Richard's dope because his whole business is automated with VAs. So good. I want to get him on a podcast. And I think that's everyone. So good to see everyone. I'll see you guys tomorrow in the next live stream. Have a blessed day. Bye. David 3X. Yep. And for everyone on YouTube,